Welcome to Houzz Pro's Deep Dive Summer Club. My name's Nicole from the Sales Development team, and Grant, my colleague here, is one of the account executives here. He'll be doing the demo today, and we'll be running through various features of our software. So if anyone has a question, you're welcome to put it into the public chat or the private chat, and we can answer it as we go through. So what we'll be focused on is the clippers and selections tool, then the 3D floor plan software, then our estimates, takeoffs and budgets, then it will be bids and subcontractor workflow, and then the schedules and tasks. So I'll let Grant commence with the demo.
Thanks, Nicole. Okay, let me get cracked into it. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I can't see the chat, but Nicole is going to moderate the chat. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, don't hesitate to just shout out and we'll be able to answer your questions. So this is just a bit of background, first of all. I guess many of you will be aware of the Houzz brand for a long, long time. Houzz have been really well established in the UK for a long time now, 14 years, traditionally known for marketing services. But over the last 5-6 years, I think 5 years ago now, we launched the software, really been putting a lot of resources into software to help improve the workflows of design and construction professionals in the UK, the US, and all over Europe as well. And when I first started with Houzz, the software has really come on leaps and bounds. So I'm going to focus on a lot of my favorite features and some new features that we've recently launched as well. I'm going to show you my build account. The software is pretty similar these days between the design accounts and the build accounts, but there are some different wordings. But I'm not going to focus like strictly on just build. I'll give like an overview of like design elements, because some builders obviously find the design elements useful as well. So if we just get cracked into it, the first thing that I want to do is just probably the easiest way to do it is just from a workflow of whether that's a designer or a builder. So let's say that we're going to source a product. Now, this is one of the Houzz Pro software's classic features. Let's say it's the clipper. So some of you might be aware of what this does, but when you're sourcing products, now I'm showing you how to source a piece of furniture. But you can do this for like tiles and flooring, and it's not restricted to certain websites. You can see here that I'm on Soho Home, but any website that you source products from, you're going to be able to do exactly what I'm going to do here. So you'll see that there's a Houzz logo that follows me about the image. So this is the Clipper Google Chrome integration, and when I click that, it will bring up this sidebar here. Probably going to ask me to sign in first. Plus custom build at houzz.com. Okay, so what that will do is it will clip the product image into the sidebar, as you can see here. When you want to import other images, you simply just click, and click, and it will import the other images into the sidebar for you. And then it intelligently recognizes the layout of the page as well. And then when you click it again, it will give you suggestions on the categories. So this is the title. Obviously, this would be delivery information or internal notes. It's worth saying here that all these categories are customizable by you. Most things that you see in Houzz Pro are very customizable. But these are just the categories that I have. Client description, the cost, the dimensions. You get the gist, just all the information that you need regarding a product. You can obviously assign by category, so this would be in furniture, your supplier would be Soho Home, and you can assign in a project, in a room within a project. You can obviously add markup at this stage here as well, and then once you click save, we go back to the Houzz Pro software that we said that it's been saved into the software, go into the company, go into the items, and this is like your list of items that you've saved over time. So when you're working with lots of different products, especially when we're talking about larger home renovations, you're dealing with so many products, and you can, different people have different ways of doing things, whether it's lying about in email, WhatsApp, files on computers, on local drives, whereas this is like one shared space between you and your team members where you can have access to all your different products that you're working with. So just keeps you really, really nice and organized, and you have kind of everything in the one place, which is the major benefit of Houzz, is having a multitude of different things under the one roof. So that's the product library. But when we go into one of our projects, there's lots of different things that you can do with the products. So just going to remind myself of what was next on the agenda. 3D floor planner. Okay, so guess it ties in nicely. So 3D floor planner, this is again a very classic Houzz feature. It's been around since the start of the software, or since we launched the software. But it's really, really come on leaps and bounds in terms of the feature that it has on offer. So I guess the first thing that I wanted to show you on the 3D floor planner is how you create a concept, an initial design, or a blank canvas rather, so that you can do your design. So you can create from scratch when you've got the dimensions of the space. The way that I like to pitch that to people is almost like a lot of people of my generation would remember building a house on Sims. Very, very similar, putting the dimensions of the space. Or it's even easier nowadays, is that you can upload a plan. So I click here, upload a plan that you get from homeowner, architect, whoever, even the plans that you make, 2D plans that you can make from within Houzz Pro. And you can see that what it does, it traces the space of the plan. And then when I click in this dollhouse view, you can see that it's giving you the blank canvas with the dimensions of the space, where you can then go and input your own ideas. Or you can do this, which is create a 3D floor plan from a room scan. It's probably one of the more popular ways of people doing it nowadays. If I just show you a video, probably the easiest way to do it. Pro 3D room scanner. So this is using LiDAR technology, which is available with iPhones only. I believe that some Android phones are starting to have them now, or maybe some bigger Android tablets. But the vast majority of iPhones, I think from iPhone and iPads, I think from 2019, 2020, will have the LiDAR technology. So you can go into the space and you can do a scan of the room. And as you're doing that, it will pick up the walls, the ceilings, the existing items of furniture, so everything in the room. And then it's given you the client's exact space to work from, where you can then go and input your own design ideas. It gives you the dimensions of the space as well, which for use for soft furnishings and kind of get an idea of what you can get in the space is absolutely perfect. And then we can go and input the own design ideas and then do a multitude of different things from it. So that's the 3D room scan LiDAR technology, just saving you a bit of time and allowing you to work from the client's exact space. So this is a room scan that I had done But then there's lots of different things that we can do with this now that we've done the design. So this is the 2D view, really simple. You can change it from black and white to color. But one of the things that I wanted to show you, a fairly new feature launched about 3 or 4 months ago now, is that you can actually convert images from product websites into 3D to use for your design. So if I just click here on the sofa that I had imported earlier, and then what you do is that you add the mask, which is simply just a case of clicking the product a few times. And you can see that it'll create you like this 3D model of the image. And then you can use that exact product that you're working with into your 3D model. So a really nice feature. Before that, we just had our list of generic products, which are hundreds, if not thousands, of different products that you can use. And most of the time, you'll be able to get pretty close to the product that you're offering. But especially if you're an interior designer, you're probably working with like bespoke items, or if you're working in the high end, then you have the ability to now work with or visualize any product that you're thinking about showcasing to the client. So really nice feature, 2D to 3D.
So Grant, someone in the private chat has asked if those 3D render images, they'll be saved into a library, or do they just do it on sort of an ad hoc basis when they need it?
Yeah, good question. I'll come on to that in just a second, the 3D
Yep.
rendered images, okay? But they can save them in a multitude of different ways. So I'll actually show you that now as I move into the dollhouse view and kind of go here, scan in. As kind of rightly alluding to there, you can now do photorealistic renders, which is the main piece up here. So you can screenshot the current view, you can create a new camera, which will give you like the tilt, the light in the field of view, the boundary, distortion. You can also select exactly what space in the house that you want to select, and that will create you a render within 3 or 4 minutes, and then it saves it onto a file directly into the project. So if I just go into here, files and photos, I'll show you one that I had created a couple of weeks ago. You can see here 3D floor plan images, and there's a render that I had done before. So you can either share this directly with the client on their client's dashboard, which I'll show you in just a minute. Or you can simply just download this as a PDF and send it to the client that way as well. As a PNG, rather. So hopefully that has answered your question. So yeah, you can see here that the rendered output that you get from the design is just so much sharper than maybe what the actual design software has. It's a little bit CGI, but you can get out something that's really sharp to help the client visualize what they're going to get in the space. And the more that you do this, the more it's going to help you win jobs, and the more kind of less back and forth there is as well, if they can see something that's almost very realistic to what they're going to get in the space. And you can see with the value of the 3D floor planner, it's not, we're allowing you to do these designs quite quickly, in the sense that you go in, you scan the space, you do your design in Houzz Pro. Like, that's a design that I did, and I'm no expert in 3D design software historically, but you know, it takes me a couple of hours, and then I can get like a really high quality output to show the client. So especially if you've got busy days, busy weeks, this is really going to allow you to get out a high quality render to your client. Excuse me. The last thing that I really wanted to show everyone on this was walkthrough. So you can share this with the client, and they can do like walkthroughs on their phone or on the desktop. You can see it's just like a close-up of what they can get into the space almost. But one of my favorite features is showcased by a builder in the US. He's got his own construction firm. excuse me, I'll just ask me to log in again. So yeah, he has his own construction firm, and he's going to go into a space to do a walkthrough. So the walkthrough is where you can literally go into the house, whether it's the client's house or here, Matt Pinella, he does it by going through a space that's completely stripped out. Here we go. And he can select the design that he's done whilst he's in the space, and he can show the design, show the client or show himself the design through his iPad or his phone as a walkthrough as he walks through the space. So it's an augmented reality feature. So you can see here it's stripped out house, but even if you go back to the client's house and it's still got all their old furniture and stuff in it, then you know, just as good. Select the design, and you can see here there, as he walks through the space, he can see his design in Houzz Pro as he starts to walk through the space. So pretty cool feature. A lot of builders, designers are really reacting well to this, because as you can see here, they can really see what they can get in the space. I'm sure there's a lot of people that you get that, you know, they want an island in their kitchen, but you know, you need to show them that potentially there might not be enough space to get through, or this is not going to work there. So really, like, allowing you to communicate with the client and visualize what they can get with their space in a really effective way.
Thanks, Grant. Someone else in the private chat has asked if this has capacity to show sort of a augmented reality walkthrough in the garden space as well, outside.
Do you know what? That's a really good question. We can do outdoor designs on Houzz Pro, but yeah, that's throwing me for 6. I actually don't know. Yeah, I'm going to need to get back to you on that one. If you could take the note of the person that asked that, their email and contact number, and we'll get back to them with the exact answer, because yeah, I'm afraid I don't know.
Brilliant.
Okay, so next thing we want to talk about is quoting jobs. So estimates, takeoffs, and budget. So estimates is obviously how we pitch this part for build, but in design it's called proposals. So let's say that you want to get an estimate to a client. This is maybe for one of your smaller jobs. So I've done like an estimate for a kitchen fitting job, for example. So you can create an estimate from scratch. You can upload an existing one that you have from a CSV file, or you can start to save up your quotes from template if you're using fairly similar ones as you're going through the system. So here's a kitchen fit out template that I'd created earlier, and you can see that it will automatically create you an estimate with your business logo, the business information. It will be automatically fill in the client's information as well. It's got the date, it's time stamped. You can choose it to sync it to the budget feature, which is another nice new feature. I'll show you that in just a moment. So you can change the cost of everything really quite quickly. You can add markup. This is obviously what you see as the professional, and I'll show you what the client sees prior to sharing it with the client. Then you can add in your items from your libraries, products, your material and labor. You can add in fairly easily, and then you've got payment reminders set up here. So because your estimates are time-stamped, it's going to send you and the client gentle reminder emails if you set this up. So next step triggers create an invoice when estimate is approved, create a task for you. So the task will appear here in like a Facebook style notification to say when the estimate is overdue, if the client's not processed it, and then again, gentle reminder emails for the client if they've not signed the estimate as well. So the payment terms are fairly easy, or customizable rather. You can set these up into 12 monthly payments, however you want to do it, but just for ease of use, I've just set up like a deposit and the remaining amount upon project completion. The client can also pay with their credit and debit card, which makes the whole process really easy for them. And generally, you'll probably get paid quicker than a bank transfer if you do that as well. This Houzz Pro also integrates with two of the most popular accounting softwares out there. So we integrate with Xero and QuickBooks, really easy, quick setup. So there's kind of no manual input between your accounting system and your and Houzz Pro, which is crucial because you don't want to miss anything, and reduces the admin time as well. You can attach terms and conditions, you can attach files and plans, and then we preview and share this, and then you can show as much or as little information as you want in terms of columns and description, item details, and then in terms of approving, they can approve per line or they can just approve the entire thing. Send this off to the client, they receive it in their email, and everything can be done on the client's phone. So they simply just get a notification on their phone, they open up on their phone, they sign to say that they're happy to go ahead, and then you're getting the notification to say that the client has approved the estimate. Okay, so that is the estimating side of things. Other thing that I wanted to show you on quoting jobs would be takeoffs. So probably more relevant for builders, but obviously you do have some interior designers who do some construction elements as well. So you can upload a plan that you can obviously create from within Houzz Pro, or more than likely you're probably going to get it from an architect or homeowner. And then you can use these tools to measure out the dimensions of the plan and get like a really good idea of the materials that you need and the cost of. So you have like count tools that would be for like door frames, toilets, sink, individual items that you've got on the space. Deduct tool, where you can like deduct, let's say that you're doing like cladding on the exterior, you would deduct the window space because obviously that's not going to be cladded. Length tool, which would be for like paint, anything that you would just do the length tool to use. You can do polygon, which is like angled rooms, and rectangle if it's like fairly easy to do the dimensions without any angles of the space, like the garage here. You'll see this in the top left-hand side, the automate feature. So this is a new AI feature, and you can see that whilst I actually scroll through the drawing, it now recognizes the parallels of the lines of the drawing. So the idea is that rather than kind of doing the drag and drop, it's allowing you to do your takeoffs even quicker, which is very, very important because even I speak to a lot of people these days that are doing it with pen and paper still, which yeah, boggles my mind. But yeah, the idea is that you're doing your takeoffs as quickly as possible. It's going to be quicker for you to get your estimate out to the client, but rather than subtracting that with quality and accuracy, which is going to lead to problems down the line, then you're really quoting up your jobs in a really fast but yet efficient way. So that is the takeoffs tool, and then kind of the last thing I wanted to show you in the financial side, but one of the most important features.
Sorry, Grant.
Yeah.
Ben has asked if there is an average pounds per square meter for each room.
Average pound by square meter for each room. It depends on the material that you select, I guess. Like concrete will have a different pound per square meter in comparison to like steel beams, for example. So it depends on the prices that you set from within Houzz Pro. I hope that's answered your question, but if not, give me a little bit more detail, and I can either ask it at the end, or you can ask it again whilst I go through it.
Definitely.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, so as I was saying, the budget feature. So this is a feature, fairly new feature for us, but really crucial feature, is where each estimate, change order, purchase order, invoice that you've associated to a job will appear in here, just to make sure that you're on track. It will show you the variance, the percentages that you've invoiced for. So kind of rather than having to manually remember or trying to backtrack and then realizing that you're over budget or severely under budget, which doesn't happen often, then this just makes sure that you're keeping on track for the budget for the job. And again, with you everything being put in here like automated, then it's allowing you to keep on track without having to do any sort of manual work to chase yourself. So yeah, very, very important feature there, the budgeting. Okay, takes me on to my next part. So bids, subcontractor workflow. So especially with builders, but interior designers do as well, you'll be working with a lot of different subcontractors throughout the job. So when you create a bid request, it's usually done through WhatsApp, and you know, people can forget things, and you might just send like a one WhatsApp and you get one cost and you just say, okay, like that's what I'm going to go ahead with. Whereas you can send out multiple bids using the Houzz Pro software, and this is allowing you to work with the best subcontractor still, but then maybe allowing yourself to triage the costs of the job. So if I just go into one of the bids that I created for some electrical work, you can begin to understand what this does. So I've selected 3 bidders for this. I then created a bid request form, which is all electronic. So the bid due date was due back by Friday, let's say. You put in the trades, you put in the project address and the estimated project start date, the scope of the work and what you need, and then you can include any attachments. You then send this off to your bidders. They receive it in their email, and then they can put in a description and a cost of the work that they're going to provide. They can also include attachments and anything else that they might want to do. And then again, you're going to get Facebook style notifications here where you can then review the bids and then say, you know, one Sparky, they've come in for 500 quid, the other one 600, the other one 750, and then you can decline the bids that you're not wanting to go ahead with the work. You can accept the bids that you do want to go ahead with the work, and then that's going to send them email notifications and assign them a task on their subcontractor dashboard, which I'll show you in just a moment. So especially when you're working with a lot of different subcontractors, through a lot of different projects at any given time, allows you to be really organized and professional in the way that you communicate with your subcontractors, which you know, is going to be valued by them, but then also making sure that you're just getting a good price for the work as well.
Grant, Ben's elaborated on the pounds per square meter question. So he said if he would like to create an estimate for a client to sort of know what they might expect to pay, he would like to do a takeoff to give them some average cost ultimately for the pounds per square meter for like an extension, renovation, demolition, etc.
Okay. Again, it depends what you put into Houzz Pro. I think the best thing to do is maybe if I give Ben a phone afterwards, just to get a bit more information, then we can maybe do like a personalized demo. It's worth saying that this is a fairly general overview to like build and design, but if you wanted like a personalized session where you can ask like questions and make it much more relevant to your business, then we can offer you a personalized session.
Yeah, you're welcome to send me or Grant your contact information that's best for you, and we'll follow up after that.
Perfect. Okay, thanks, Nicole. So yeah, that is the bid request form. I'm actually going to show you on my phone how it looks like for the client. So, sorry, for the subcontractor. So if I just log in here. So it's all mobile friendly. Like most of these guys are busy, they're out on site. So basically, every time that you associate a task, a bid, something from the schedule, which I'll go into in just a moment, they'll be assigned, they'll be sent an email, and then they can go into their Houzz Pro mobile view, where they can see like, okay, here's the company Highland Construction, which is my fake Houzz Pro business, the address of the project. You can see any photos that they've uploaded or the pro has shared with the subcontractor, any task that's been assigned to them, daily logs and schedule, and you can see like the bids sent, and the ones that they need to input as well. So it's like a mobile friendly view that's associated to each job that they get assigned to.
And Grant, Mo's asked if there's a Gantt chart for the project progress, so like scheduling of the project.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will show you that now. Actually, it takes me on to the next feature, which is schedule, thankfully. So if we just go back into Chrome Place, go into the schedule here. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. So this is a Gantt chart to show progress of the job, basically. Now, fairly useful feature here, or a critical feature of the project. So you can create schedules from scratch, and you can save those as templates, but kind of reducing the admin time. We have some preset schedules in here as well for extension, new builds, kitchen plans. It's not going to be perfect, obviously, but you can make the changes and tweaks as you go along. So the Gantt chart, or the schedule rather, is extremely interactive. So I'll just show you from the top here a couple of my favorite features on the schedule. So you can see that it's shared. You can choose to give access to whoever you want to, really. So you can see that it's published to my client dashboard, so they can have a view-only section of the schedule. I've given the subcontractor access as well, which you can see on the phone. They can see like the schedule. But maybe most importantly of who you share it with, it's also it automates all the messaging when you make changes. Now, when I make changes in edit mode, that's not going to notify anyone of any changes or tasks that you've associated to them. So when you're making a lot of changes, you don't want to send them like 10 different emails as you make changes, because that's just, it's going to end up annoying them. But when you change it back to live mode, that will then resume the sending of the notification and the reminders that you've set for whoever you've shared the schedule to. So if I switch it back to live mode, worth saying as well that you can set like baselines to see whether you're on track, or so this is like I'm on schedule to my original plan, just to make sure that you're not going to annoy the client if there's like loads of delays, so you can really quickly see whether you're on track, because obviously there are a lot of things that change. You want to make sure that you're not going too over the schedule. You can also share this with your current calendar. So I know that people obviously work with their calendars, have meetings set by every day. So you can sync this with your Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, whatever it is that you use. So all the tasks will appear in there, and it's all color coded to separate projects. You can view the schedule by the assignees of particular tasks, whether that's your team members, your clients, your subbies. You can see all items and all tasks. And then you've got like an overview. This is just of the specific project and the tasks of that one, but you've got a general schedule overview of all your different projects and anything that you've associated to a lead as well. I'll show you that in a moment. And then you've got like a list view as well. So if I just go into a task, you can do a whole lot of different things. So you can obviously change the dates. You can change the dates by doing dragging and dropping. You can assign team members. You can set up your dependencies, so like the pouring of the concrete isn't going to begin until, you know, after the demolition of the existing space. You can set up lags ends before, so every time that you move it will move along with the dependencies that you set. So again, it kind of automating a lot of different things to make sure that you're not manually moving everything. And then you can set subtasks as part of that task and color code them as well. And then your team are going to get notifications on email, on phone, of any task that you've assigned to them. On the left-hand side here, you can see like external messaging here. This is the general team chat, and there's also a team chat that's associated to every project here. So you go on the right-hand side on the team chat. You've got a team chat here, and you can easily link like everything: 3D floor plans, retainers, takeoffs, estimates, invoices. You can also like show the tasks as well. So this is the schedule, really, really, really useful feature. And then every task that you create from within the schedule, you can go into here and you can have a look at everything that's been set in terms of like the task that's been completed, what's due. You can set for particular assignees, whether that's your team members, subcontractors. And if I just go into a task here, you can see, excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink. My throat is quite dry. Okay, so you can see like the description that I've set for the subcontractor is install the electrics as per job plan. You can find that in your files and photos, which the subcontractor can see in here. And then you can see the comments that's left by your team member, subcontractor, whoever. And you can see here that subcontractor's notes and files, he's uploaded the notes, work done as per job spec, and then he can do the attachments. So when you have lots of different projects at any given time, and you have, you know, they're all going to be spread out by different locations as well. It's impossible for you, even if you've got project managers, you know, they're always really busy, to be on site. So this allows you to have an overview of everything that's going on and making sure that your team know what to do. I often speak to a lot of builders who speak to me about, you know, the schedule and task list, and it's, you know, they lose money because the jobs aren't being done properly, whether that's by subbies or team members. So this just makes sure the job is being done exactly how you want it to be done. Really crucial part of project management that, you know, every builder of a certain size needs to have in place. So that's the schedule and task list, and we go on to client dashboard, just because that's something that someone mentioned earlier about when they were asking about how they share the 3D floor plans. So you can share the 3D floor plans on the client dashboard. It's like the client's own unique web page to do with the project. Subcontractors have a similar view as well. And anything that you've associated and shared with them, they'll be able to see in here. So schedule view only, obviously, for the client. But again, they're going to be notified by email when you make changes in the live mode. They can view the financial information, any messages that you share with each other, the files and photos section, so any plans or invoices or anything like that you've shared with them will live in here. And then up the top here, you have your project management features. So you've got your schedule overview across all your different projects. So you can see here it's color coded. You can see by each assignee, by each project and lead, and you can see what you need to be doing, your team need to be doing on an overview across any given day. And then likewise, you also have like a task center as well. So every task that you've associated to yourself, team member, subby, client will be viewed in here. So especially if you're, you know, whether you're a big building firm or a kitchen firm with doing like 10, 20 projects a month, having something like this set in place is really going to allow you to project manage successfully and deliver a good project for your client. So I've taken up 40 minutes of your time. I'm conscious that there's only 5 minutes left. I've covered probably everything that I wanted to show on this webinar. It was called Deep Dive, but it was fairly skimmed over on each feature, but I wanted to make sure that we had an overview of some of my favorite features. And as I've alluded to before, if you want a personalized session, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. I don't know if we've got any more questions before we finish here.
You're welcome to pop any in now. Otherwise, there'll be a follow-up email with a link to the recording for you to sort of refer back to, and you're welcome to get in touch that way if you do want to set up a Zoom demo with Grant or an initial phone call with myself. Naos has also inserted the Calendly link to schedule a demo that way. But I think if that's everything for now, no more questions on our end, then thank you everyone for attending, and hopefully we'll see you at the next webinar. Many thanks.